It was early in the morning and the mountains were covered in mist. The Moto Preacher faced a long road ahead. Would he arrive in one piece or get lost in the mountains? Must be a nest somewhere around here. Better call an exterminator. still had a long way to go. And with the weather showing no signs of change, he kept on pushing. Wait, what is that? Why is your bike so dirty? What happened? Is that what I think it is? Or is it just mud? And where the heck is the footage? Was the camera off again?
Frankie, stop.
But what happened?
Let's just say I had a situation.
Boss, for God's sake, learn how to use your camera gear properly. It's getting annoying having to reconstruct your incidents all the time. It's a lot of work, you know?
Yeah. I'm better prepared for my next trip, okay?
Alright. But if not, I'll have Joey sit down with you and give you the talk.
Don't push it, Frankie. Know your place. And Joey, don't you even dare.
I didn't say a word. Leave me out of this.
Will you please continue now?
Alright. Let's reconstruct the incident once again. It looked a little something like this. The Moto Preacher arrived at the spot with a massive landslide. The road had turned into a river and it was impossible to tell how deep the water was. Sticky mud everywhere, on both sides. Passing through seemed impossible. On top of that, a sheer drop loomed on the left. Something he very much preferred not to look at.
That looks pretty deep to me.
No one asked you, Joey.
You always exclude me.
Not when we need your raw power, Joey.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyways, no other vehicles in sight. Normally, he'd wait for a few locals to appear and follow their path. But no one came. Time was pressing, and he had no choice. Teeth gritted, he went for it. Taking a run up, he drove straight into the mess, with a weird expression on his face. Just around the middle, the rear wheel slipped, and he went down for a launch in the mud. pumped full of adrenaline, he lifted the motorcycle and pushed it out of the mud. But this grumpy bastard of motorcycle refused to start. Some unidentifiable German words burst out of his mouth, probably enough to get him banned on here. Damn, was he going to die here alone in the mountains? Looking like shit? He prayed for the engine to roar back to laugh. Of course, just as the bike fired up, two locals on a tiny 125cc scooter appeared, riding straight at him. He tried to warn them about the danger, but they just grinned, rode through unscathed, and laughed it off. Murphy's Law strikes again. Or pure incompetence again, huh, boss? An embarrassing moment in the Moto Preacher's riding career. You look like I did when we first met. Maybe you should have called it quits after that incident, huh, boss?
Just shut up, Frankie, okay? Just shut up, Frankie.
Completely soaked and looking like he'd just escaped a party, his journey continued. Just at the right moment, he reached a spot with a break in the clouds, so he could finally catch his breath and drain the river from his shoes. This ridiculous sight seemed to amuse the locals, and he became the joke of the town for everyone passing by. Did he care? Not a bit. You know, the Moto Preacher can take a hit or two, and even laugh at himself. That's what I like about you, boss.
Stop brown-nosing.
After that ordeal, he needed something to cheer him up. You know, despite the time pressure, the Moto Preacher always finds some time to stop for a few cute doggos. Look at those two. Just like you and me, boss. Except for the crotch-smelling part, right?
At least the little one knows his place, and so should you. Continue.
Yeah. Time was ticking, and he had already lost a lot of time on the road. So let's not provoke the Moto Preacher's obsession with his German punctuality. Entschuldigung. Wow. The music for the dance way. The music for the dance way. As beautiful as the view was, there really wasn't any time left for... After 11 hours in the saddle, the Moto Preacher was happy to have arrived in Baguio City. His hands ached from working the clutch. Boss, are you sure the pain came from working the clutch? Or were you working something else?
I can introduce the tab to your face if you want. Think of it as a bonding experience.
I don't know. I kindly decline, boss.
Yeah, I thought so.
What a day of riding.